The Democratic Alliance has unveiled its elections posters and slogan ahead of the national elections. DA leader John Steenhuisen is visiting Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape today. Steenhuisen is also expected to participate on a number of activities while in Gqeberha, including a picket focusing on the impact of the non-operational Nelson Mandela Bay IPTS bus service. SABC News reporter Lerato Fekisi has more.
We are broadcasting live from the northern areas where the DA is saying Rescue SA. They've released their poster slogan that they will run with throughout the elections, and they are saying in that poster that the only way that SA can receive any liberation is that they rescue it from the demise of the ANC and other parties. The president of the DA is here, Mr. John Steenhuisen. Interesting they're launching it in the northern areas because it's an area where for many years the DA has continued to dominate, but we've seen the couple of years that there's been the rise of Patrick Alliance, of DOP, and other smaller parties are also equally eager to get a hold of the Northern Alliance. John, let's just first talk about the importance of launching a poster here in Gqeberha. Why is it important for you to come specifically to the northern areas?
Well, this is a strategic area for us, and as you've rightly said, there's been people that have tried a few other parties. I think many of them have woken up with hangovers and are now going to be looking for a party that's actually serious about service delivery. And people in the northern areas can definitely see that when the DA was in charge, things were moving forward, the city was moving forward, jobs were being created, investment was coming. Since the coalition of corruption has re-entrenched itself here, things are going backwards. People are losing their jobs, factories are going. Despite the very best efforts of local organizations like the Chamber of Commerce. And I think that this is a very clear message to people that in this election, there's too much at stake to waste your vote on parties that have got no hope of delivering on the promises, on the undertakings. And when we say rescue South Africa, we back that up on the posters with our manifesto, which is a plan that sets out very clearly how we will rescue South Africa.
Speaking of coalitions, we've seen how powerful the smaller parties can be, so you can't really undermine them as going to this election, especially in the northern areas where we've seen the rise of Patriotic Alliance. They took a ward in Georgia as well from the DA. So how important will it be for the DA to try and ensure that you convince voters to go more towards you than the smaller parties?
Well, I think if people look at what's happened in places like Johannesburg and Nelson Mandela Bay, when you fragment the vote amongst a variety of smaller parties, you can never have stable government. So the key message is vote for those parties that have committed to working together to be able to bring that change. The multi-party charter, which the DA is a founder member, we believe fundamentally that represents the best opportunity to bring stability, a coalition that can actually work. What you don't want is at a provincial or national level see the chaos that you've seen in Nelson Mandela Bay, and that can only come through making the right choice with your vote. Don't over-fragment your vote, otherwise we're going to end up with the same situation. Vote for parties that are able to anchor a new multi-party government after the election and that have a track record of delivering on keeping their promises.
Then John, the Eastern Cape is predominantly an ANC party. I mean, in the past elections they won by a good 50% against you guys, so really whitewashed in the last elections. What are you guys going to do differently now to try and increase your 50% victory from last time?
Well, look, I mean, we're putting a very positive message on the table. We're setting out a very clear alternative offer that focuses on the fact that we accept the country's in a bad state, but we need to all pitch in now and fix it. And that's what the manifesto focuses on. Those 7 key areas that we believe need to be fundamentally turned around. Unless you do that, there's no recovery in South Africa, and we'll never rescue it, and we'll continue to march towards greater unemployment, greater poverty, greater hunger, and a greater cost of living. So the key message is come out and vote for that change. I don't think this election is going to be as easy for the ANC as last elections. I think people are fed up and dissatisfied. Load shedding has reached into their homes and switched off their power. Bad government decisions have switched off the water in their taps. Many people have been kicked out of their jobs because of the terrible policies. And also the ANC is turning on itself. We've seen the rise of Umkhonto weSizwe, which last night got 28% in a by-election in KwaZulu-Natal. It's going to cannibalize the ANC's vote even further, which provides an opportunity for parties like the DA to capitalize. If we can get a higher voter turnout amongst energized and activated opposition voters, that I believe fundamentally we can build a new majority in South Africa, we can have a new government in place, and we can rescue our country.